Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. As usual, we are your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how you doing this week?
Well, unusually enough, I'm chilling.
That's pretty good. A bit unusual, but
It is.
it's
I'm
good.
never chilling.
Yeah, haven't heard it once in my life. I've never heard that from you, but
Yeah.
yeah, things can always change. And just like this podcast, once again, we're stepping away from movies because there's still jack shit coming out. But don't worry, we have gaming news to talk about, and a sizable amount. The Sony held their debut PS5 event where they showed off a bunch of games. Showed off a bunch of games that we'll get into a little bit with the issue with the launch window, but games that will eventually come on the PS5. Still set to come out holiday 2020. Should be November, December if nothing else happens. But I mean, let's just get right into it. They started off with a nice montage of PS4 games, the cream of the crop of what we've played over the past 7-8 years. And then they started off with a classic title, obviously, because when I think PS5, I think GTA 5. No actual gameplay of what it would look like in PS5, but they did show a trailer. It's being ported over. So this will be the third PlayStation this game is on. It's kind of ridiculous.
It's actually 3 generations of gaming, too.
Yes, this game is not even 10 years old yet, and we're about to hit console number 3 for this.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it's a very popular game. They're still selling a shit ton of copies. They're still making a lot of money off it because of the microtransactions within, if that's what you want to call it.
The shark
But
cards.
yes.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they want to do it. It's just a little, you brought this game to show and tell a while now, Rockstar. Are you gonna move on?
Yeah, look, I have no problem with it. It is I consider it one of the best games of all time. Clearly, with the amount of money and the lifespan of GTA Online, plus just how long people have still played it and the copies it sold, it's etched into gaming history. It's one of the most important games ever with what it's done. I have no problem. Look, straight up, I will buy it for PS5 and I will play it. But to kick off the PS5 event, it's a real fucking tease, especially when you see that Rockstar logo and it's like, tease for GTA 6? Nope. Nope, you ain't getting anything. It's like, I'm here for new stuff. But just to pivot off that, they did say that GTA Online will be free for the first 3 months when you buy your PS5 console. So they are spinning this out from GTA 5, which makes me curious on how they're going to build off it. And we won't go into speculation because we can have easily a whole podcast about where could they take GTA Online. It's so massive, but I do think they're getting the groundwork for GTA 6 ready. Like, you're still not going to see it for another year or two, but this is the groundwork for it. Also, it's currently play on PS4, starting this month until it comes out next year. You can get $1 million in cash every month. All you got to do is play for, 20, 30 minutes, collect your cash once a month. At this point, it's not coming out till next summer at the earliest, so $12 million if you put in the time. It's not bad. That'll get you 1.5 cars.
Yeah. No, I could get you like 3 cars at most.
Yeah. Also, GTA Online, if you're on PS4 or Xbox One, you will want to move over to the new console sooner rather than later. They've already posted on their website that once GTA Online is out and it's a separate game, the updates stop on PS4. Cut up. So if you still want to get the updates, new cars, new guns, you'll have to hop over sometime next year. But we'll leave the GTA talk for that for another time. After that, Sony actually talked about some of the games they're making. Kind of a shock. Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's been only 2 years, just under 2 years since Spider-Man came out, to critical acclaim. And now we have not Spider-Man 2, but a spin-off game with Miles as the main character. Mike, what do you think of this? All the rumors were pointed to a Spider-Man 2, but this was not expected.
I mean, they're not wrong. It's a second Spider-Man game, but
yeah,
it's a spin-off. So it's you could kind of say it's Spider-Man 1.5.
I would say it's 1.5.
I'm gonna assume it has to take place between Spider-Man 1 and 2. So what this game could potentially do is expand the world a little bit more, expand the use of villains, and that could be leftovers from 1, could lead into villains that kind of hint up to Spider-Man 2. There's a lot of opportunities for some nice Easter eggs there if they want to continue down the whole Green Lantern thing that they were trying to tease in Spider-Man.
Yeah, they could set more stuff up for Spider-Man 2, depending on where they're going overall. Personally, I think the biggest prize for me is Holiday 2020. This is one of the few games in this event that actually has a time window. This makes me think it will be a launch title. So I gotta say, pretty ballsy for Sony to come out with a launch title of, oh hey, we got Spider-Man when you go pick up your console. Not a full game, but still, if it's even just 10 hours long campaign, that's not bad. Yeah, considering the
it's
launch
smart
lineup they had
because
for PS4 is weak.
very. It's smart because they're kind of riding on the coattails of the first one. It's a great game, so people are going to want to play the spin-off game.
Yeah, everyone wanted more Spider-Man. So why not? And a lot of people now are, becoming big fans of Miles Morales thanks to the Spider-Verse movie. So I think this is honestly coming out at a perfect time. Another game that was shown off, also from the same developers, Insomniac, is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I don't know if you've played the series much. I've been a fan of it since I was a kid and played all the games on PS2 and all that. It looked good. I like it. I like seeing them back. Graphics look great. It looks like Pixar movie quality. But I don't know. My only issue is my main question is: does this continue from the main games from PS3, or does it continue from the reboot from PS4, which is kind of a remake of the first game? Because the games on PS3 kind of got a little heavy on the story side, so I'd like to see a continuation of that. But I don't know, Mike, you have any thoughts on this one?
Not really. I never really got into those games even when I was younger.
Okay, yeah, that one didn't have a date at all, so could be a launch game, could be 2021. The next few PlayStation games, Gran Turismo 7. I've only now just started to get into racing games, but arcade ones, so like Forza Horizon, are the ones I play. Uh, the Formula One style races, like featured here, I'm not really a fan of, so I won't be getting this.
Yeah,
Would
I'm
you
gonna have
pick?
to agree. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I probably won't be picking this up. Never really got into the Gran Turismo, anything like that. I did like racing games when I was younger,
Mhm.
but I don't know. It just kind of lost its touch for me.
Yeah, for the Horizon ones, those I tried to get into like Gran Turismo before and it didn't work because I always found it too like annoying to get used to the rules. Horizon allows me to just drive around, have fun. Doesn't penalize me for not staying on the tracks all the time. It, it's fun. I mean, I'm happy for fans of it to finally get a game because I think they're skipping 6. I thought it was 5, and then they skipped one. But they're getting a game. Good for them. Sackboy: A Big Adventure. I'm only naming this because Little Big Planet from PS3, like it was popular for kids. This does seem to be more in the style of Mario, like Mario Odyssey. I don't know. I'm not gonna play it. Maybe if I'm bored, that's like $10, but I'm not. I'm not getting this at launch. I assume you're not getting it either.
No, I haven't even heard of that game.
Fair enough. Demon Souls. Demon Souls remake, technically. This is the game that started the Dark Souls and Bloodborne that we've seen for the past 10 years. Original came out in 2009. It's getting a proper remake. I will definitely be buying this. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've never played it though because it was stuck on the PS3, and now 4K, 60 frames per second. I'll be jumping on this. Now you haven't played any of the Dark Soul Bloodborne games, right?
No, never once in my life.
Mm-hmm. Though you have heard me talk a lot about how good Bloodborne is because it is.
Yes, I've had various discussions with you about your enjoyment of said game.
Mm-hmm. Yes, one of the best games on PS4. So I don't know if you've seen the trailer or not, but just from talking about it, does it interest you in playing something like this? If you haven't seen the trailer, I would recommend you watching.
I'll definitely have to give it a watch, but from what you said, it definitely seems interesting.
Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely be picking it up. No release window for this. Could be a launch title probably next year at this point. And then the final big first-party game that they showed off was Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. It has come out after the event that it's aiming for 2021. So this will definitely not be a launch title. It looks fine. Like, it does look really good. I will say, graphically, it's amazing. But I didn't care for the first one. So, like, personally, I was hoping for a God of War 2 teaser. But
it was that weird game you were telling me about with the dinosaurs and
the robot dinosaurs?
And, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that game sounds like a trip.
But you can go underwater now. So.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a huge improvement.
Robot
dinosaurs can't go in the water.
No, but there are some.
Get electrocuted. Oh,
I saw some.
Well, what are you gonna do? Robot dinosaurs.
You got robot pterodactyls now too. There's birds.
Nice. Yeah, have fun fighting that with a wooden spear.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are fans of the first game. If you are, good for you. I didn't care much for the story and just the actual playing the game. I just found noticeably repetitive. Like it became kind of a chore to play, which it's not great. So those are the main first party games directly from Sony. Going back to third party, past GTA 5, we got Hitman 3. I played the first one, bit of the second one. This will finish off a trilogy, and apparently you'll be able to play the maps of 1 and 2 in 3 when it comes out. This actually did get a release window of January 2021. Mike, have you played any of the Hitman games? I don't think you've played the newer ones, but...
You know what? Funny that you asked me that, because I have not played a single Hitman game, to my knowledge. I don't know why. I just kind of never got around to it for some reason, because it's definitely a game I'd be into. It's just never got around to it.
I think if you get a chance, because the first 2 are usually on sale for cheap every so often, pick up the first one for like $10. Just planning out, because you're basically given like a map, go around, do whatever you want, just to kill your target. So I think you'd have fun. Okay, I'm going to knock out this guy, take his outfit, I'm going to go up here, and then how do you escape? It can be annoying, but also really fun.
Okay. I'd be more interested if it was a Crumbopulous Michaels story.
That's true. Well, look, they made a Rick and Morty VR game. Maybe they can get to that at some point. Let's get to the game that we both want to talk about. Kind of the reason we're having the podcast. And if this lineup is as weak as we think it's going to be, this is going to be a reason we both buy PS5 at launch.
Oh, absolutely.
Resident Evil 8 Village.
Yes.
Mike, what'd you think of the trailer?
Well, it got me about as aroused as a priest looking at a brand new altar boy. It looks pretty damn good. It looks pretty damn good. I mean, I loved the direction they headed towards 7. The whole first-person thing, they bring horror back into it because, when Resident Evil 4 hit, and then 5 and 6, the horror element kind of got pushed to the side. It became more of like an action game. And then 2, they brought the horror. Well, we got to go with 7 first. 7 is what truly brought the horror element back into it. And then they adapted that with the 2 remake and the 3 remake. Now, anyone who's played 2 and 3, we all know 2 is a lot more of a tense, frightening game. But, I mean, you got witches, you got werewolves. I still don't know what the other type of monsters that you're going up against. It's not zombies, and it doesn't really look like the stuff you dealt with in Resident Evil 7. So it's definitely interesting.
Agreed. It's a quick shot of, if you see it. If you don't, you don't. But during the trailer, when they give you the shots of the castle and the surrounding areas, did you see the
umbrella
platform
symbol
with the umbrella symbol? Yeah.
Yes, I did. And it wasn't just any umbrella symbol. It was the new umbrella symbol.
Was it? I thought it was the classic red one.
Nope, it was blue and white, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so definitely, even if we don't really encounter many zombies, you can definitely see Umbrella maybe working on other projects over time that maybe didn't work out, like a werewolf and stuff like that. Yeah,
Oh,
my only issue with the trailer is I picked up on the frame rate was kind of choppy with the old man and Ethan being attacked by the werewolf. From what I've heard, though, is that they are redoing or upgrading the engine to focus on next gen and forward. So I'll let that slide for now. And look, obviously, Capcom won't let that because that took me out of it. The rest of the trailer was
yeah.
fine, but I assume they'll get that fixed. It's not coming out till January, February of next year at the earliest, so they've got time.
Oh, absolutely, it has time. And let's be serious. Capcom has not put out an ugly looking game in a while. Resident Evil 7 graphics were on point at the time. Resident Evil 2, the graphics blew me away. And Resident Evil 3, say what you want about the game, but the game looked beautiful.
Agreed. I mean, that RE engine has been putting in fucking work for that company. You have all those games you just mentioned, even Devil May Cry 5. I haven't played it, but from the trailers I saw, looks just as good. I don't know what they did to make that engine, but it works wonders.
Yeah,
So,
it's honestly, it's terrifying how good the graphics look.
so if they actually put in the time to upgrade that for PS5 and Xbox Series X, oof, gonna get some 4K werewolves on our screens.
Yeah,
And apparently 4K Chris being an asshole, possibly.
it's definitely possible. I
I mean,
mean, we don't know.
I like the theory that they're gonna make you think he's the bad guy, but he's not.
Yeah, he's an antagonist of the main character, but he's
Yes.
not a bad guy. But
Wasn't
this,
Ethan infected with the same thing Mia was in Resident Evil 7? I thought he was at
I
some point. Doesn't that
no,
make
I
him
don't
kind
think
of a
so
threat?
because he never ate the food,
He never ate the food. Yeah.
and the food is, from what I've gathered, is what caused people to turn. But here's a fun little theory. We saw the new umbrella, right? The Neo
Yeah.
umbrella, whatever they want to call themselves. We saw Chris,
Hmm.
right? And then we saw a werewolf. Have we ever seen Chris and a werewolf in the same room together?
Honestly, the hair on I know this is gonna sound stupid, but when they did the final the money shot of the werewolf howling, I gotta say the hair on his head made me think that what if this is Chris?
Because that would be a twist and a half.
Uh-huh. He
That,
works with New Umbrella. He somehow gets infected, and boom, he is part werewolf now.
you know,
Like, yeah, that would be something. So, yeah, I mean, just like GTA 5, we could easily have a whole podcast going into like possible theories on Resident Evil 8. Maybe we will before the game comes out. We'll need some more information to base these theories off of because we got a 3 minute trailer.
oh yeah, we
Um,
don't have enough to have any
yeah, we don't.
concrete evidence of anything.
Yeah. And unless some solid rumors come out, maybe we'll talk about it then. But we both love the game. Last rumor was it's supposed to come out end of January, like most Resident Evil games, maybe pushed to February or March. But I'll get a PS5 at the end of the year so I can play that. Like
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
speaking of PS5 itself. Let's finish up by talking about the console. There's not one but two.
Yes, that is correct. You have a digital and a disk drive version of the console. And from what I'm being told, the digital is a little bit cheaper. So it's really owner's decision what they feel like is necessary for them. If you mostly buy games digitally now, then you might want to go with the digital, save yourself money. But if you like having those nice game collections where you buy the steelbooks, the collector's edition, stuff like that, you're going to want to stick with the normal console.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know where to go. A lot of my games, looking at my collection, are digital. But you're right. Like, I do like the occasional collector edition for any game I'm really passionate about, and can't ignore those nice steelbooks they come out with. So I think how they handle collector editions from here on out, because I feel if you want to encourage people, you need to give them an option where, okay, you get the statue, you get the steelbook, but here's a digital code to get the game.
Yeah,
You can't be like, well, thank you for buying into our digital only console. Fuck you, you can't get a collector edition anymore. Or otherwise, I got to
correct.
sell the game on eBay, buy a digital copy. That's not consumer friendly.
No, not at all.
What also sucks though is both hard drives on either one will be 825 gigs. So when you buy
Yes,
one, you'll be buying an external hard drive.
that's correct. Because if they somehow move over Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that
Yeah.
will be your entire PS5 hard drive right there.
No, it's okay. You can get Sackboy. There's enough room for Sackboy. You got two games.
Yeah.
Um,
But if you
yeah.
want GTA and Call of Duty, sorry, it's not happening. You're gonna need a hard drive.
Now that I've mentioned part, one of the big things about PS5 is that it will be a lot easier to break up the game. So you can kind of do it with Modern Warfare now by uninstalling parts of the campaign and stuff. But let's say, for example, Black Ops for this year. Apparently, PS5 will make it stupid easy to just click on the game, uninstall which part you want, and then that saves a bunch of storage. That doesn't help with, say, games like Resident Evil. There's no multiplayer. If Resident Evil's 100 gigs, what do I do? Uninstall a level? So
Yeah,
that doesn't really work for those kind of games. What do you think of the look of the console itself? It's definitely different.
it's different. I mean, depending which console you're looking at, both are tall as hell. But
Yeah,
apparently, it's made that way for cooling purposes to keep it like distribute heat evenly, and apparently there's a better fan in there too.
which we need because the
Which,
PS4 toward the end is,
oh yeah,
yeah.
my PS4 sounds like a fucking jet ready to take off any day now.
And from what I've heard, the PS4 Pros, depending on the game, not that quiet either. So
So that'll be good. The look itself is kind of cool. I I don't know if I'm a fan of the whole white and blue though.
I mean, I like it. I like the white, black, and like the blue stripe when you turn it on. They bring that over from PS4. I do think they definitely designed this with digital in mind. There's no way
Yes.
with the disc that hump coming out at the bottom.
Yeah.
There's there's no way like the design team at Sony was like, that's okay. It's like that's not what
Yeah,
your
because
consoles look like.
it looks more like an art piece than anything because it's got like this like twist and curvature to it. It's
Yeah,
not like any console we've really seen. I mean, it's not as groundbreaking as the Game Sphere, which is
true.
spherical,
Yeah,
but it's better than the what is it? The Xbox.
the Xbox Series X, aka Fridge Edition.
Yeah, is that actually how it looks?
Yeah, no, it's literally a black box you'll put in front of your TV and you're done. That's it.
Well, I mean, they're not lying. It is an Xbox. It's
Yeah.
literally a box. I mean,
Um.
listen, if the fan's good enough and the fan's in the back, you could use that as a little coffee table. You're chilling.
Yeah.
Shit, you could use it as a stand for your PS4 if you want, or PS5 if you want.
It's a nice
It's
balancing
got
act.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I thought the Xbox One was fine. Right. It's very plain. It's very boring.
it
But
it's
like
basic, but
like you said, they also focused on heating and cooling because I don't know if you noticed the specs. There's 16 gigs of RAM in both of these consoles. We're doubling up on the RAM, SSD drive. You have CPUs that are like 8 times, 10 times better, and with the heating issues they already have, you do need to design it based off cooling.
correct.
Because we're not PC gamers. We don't have the liquid cooling with the water going through the pipes to keep your PC tower cool. We don't have that. Just good old classic fans. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the PS5 looks like something we would think 10 years ago would look like from the future. Like if we had to think 10 years ago, what's 2020 or 2025 tech? It looked futuristic, and that's the PS5.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Now, does that mean the rest of the world right now looks like what that tech should be? Absolutely not. But
Nope.
we're not in flying cars, not even self-driving cars mostly.
But this is a step in the right direction.
So we got no price. It's assumed digital will be cheaper because there's no disk drive. Right now, the idea is either $50 or $100 cheaper. They did show off accessories for the PS5. That includes a 3D audio headset. That includes a charging station for two DualSense controllers, and then also you have a media remote and a camera. And the camera's interesting because they did not show off VR at all. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Yeah, they kind of left it out. I mean, I can't imagine that PlayStation VR had that many sales because the VR system itself costed the price of the system. And when sales happened, guess what? The VR price never changed, but the PlayStation price did. So you could get the PS4, for example, a lot cheaper than you could get the VR accessory for it. So I don't know how their sales went. So I don't know if that's an avenue they still want to go down.
I think VR is still a key thing for PlayStation, for Sony. I think the main issue, like you mentioned, besides price, is the fact that you had a whole separate power connector, like 3 different cables you had to throw in, cover your PS4 in it just to get it to work. But it's definitely a platform they're working on. I mean, their key game this year is Iron Man VR, which from what I heard the previews, it's one of the best PlayStation VR games you can play, like outside of Resident Evil 7. So they have that. They're bringing over the Darth Vader VR game from PC for PlayStation VR, and then the person that's been accurately leaking RE8 so far has said at least initially RE8 was going to have VR as well. I mean, not now, but VR is definitely a thing for them. I guess they didn't want to throw too much at people, right? You're already showing the console, controllers, games, but I do wonder how. I think for VR to catch on, it's not even the price. It needs to be easy. It looks complicated.
Well, I think price also has a huge factor into it as well, especially right now more than ever, which could be why they don't want to show it off because a lot of people are out of work right now.
That's true.
You know, the system's going to be expensive as it on itself. Now you throw in a separate VR accessory for it, which is going to be, let's just go based off the price of the PS4 VR system, another what, $250, $300 on top of that.
Which, if you consider PC VR headsets, that's dirt cheap. You need to understand
but
the high end VR for PC runs $900 just for the headset, and you still need a computer that can play the games. So the fact that they have serviceable VR for $250, $300 now, not the best, is actually pretty good on Sony's part. But I do see where you're coming from. If they announce the new headset is $500 in the middle of a recession plus a $500 console, it's not going to sell well. I agree with you there. It's not. Or do you think, besides price, what do you think they need to get people on VR?
Well, number one would probably be more interesting games because PS4 had a bunch of BS VR games. I mean, besides Resident Evil 7, now they're doing the Iron Man and the Vader thing. What other really good VR games have you heard about? Because I heard the Rick and Morty one was kind of lame.
Yeah. From what I heard, Rick and Morty's fun, but it's also like only 30 minutes. So the only other studio that's actually supported VR enough is Bethesda with Doom and Skyrim, but PlayStation VR wasn't good enough to run Fallout 4 in VR. So you didn't even get all the games there. But besides that, you're right. There's not much in VR.
Correct. Like, yeah, it's a cool novelty right now, but until they have content for it, I don't think they're going to see an increase of people buying it.
But I do think that's an issue with VR in general. I mean, people are only now buying VR headsets on PC because Valve made a new Half-Life game, first time in like 15 years. But before that game came out this year, no one's really talking about VR anymore.
It's true.
I think for me, you need a AAA title that is not just a port like Skyrim. You know, that game's almost 10 years old. Like, imagine if not Skyrim, but like Call of Duty Black Ops, a VR, first person. So just have maybe a VR playlist only VR people can play. Make it fair. If you have something like that and it works, I think that would get people interested because you're already buying the game. You just need to buy the headset.
That or even something like GTA 5 in VR.
Yep, even something like that. Walking around in Los Santos with your own 2 feet, like first person. Like I think too, with they already have first person mode as well in that game.
Yeah.
That could work. But you're right. They need more interesting content so the common person can look at it and be like, I want that. And it shouldn't have to be till 2020 to like, wow, I can fly around like Iron Man. Let me go drop $200 on a headset.
Yeah, and like that's the only thing that you're gonna buy.
Which, by the way, no one's going to drop $200 on a headset because they'll need the money for the PS5 in a few months.
Correct. And let's be serious. How much do you think the VR headset's going to cost for the PS5? If it's the price of the system for PS4, you think it's going to be any cheaper than the price of the system for the PS5?
I mean, if I had to guess price for VR right now, assuming it's improved, I'd go $350 for that set. I'm assuming $400 for digital, $500 for PS5 regular, and I'll assume $350, $400 for PSVR 2.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. But
yeah.
let's talk about that for a second. So you want the PS5, the VR with that, and you're going to spend around $1,000, and you didn't even buy any games yet.
Nope.
So I think that's what turns a lot of people off from VR right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're both big into gaming, but none of us have a headset, and I kind of looked at the PS VR headset, and I was like, Even when it was on sale for like $200, I was like, no.
Because like, what are you gonna really play with it? Resident
Well,
Evil
when I
7? That would be the only
yeah,
reason why I get it. And like, I don't want to spend $200 just to play one game in VR. Like, that's just absurd.
like I made a list. I saw the target for 200. I'm like, okay, what games will I play? Resident Evil, Skyrim, Doom, and that was it. I didn't see myself playing anything else, and I didn't see anything on the horizon. So yeah, VR is definitely something they have to work on. But I think right now they just need to focus on the PS5 launch. Just looking at the competition, Xbox has their big event in July where they'll show off all their first party titles. They also are supposed to have a second console that's supposed to be cheaper, possibly as low as $300.
Ooh.
There are some concessions with that one. No disc, so digital only,
Yep.
and would only be 1080p 60 frames per second. You would not get 4K. The rumors are they're going to frame it as this is how you get the best of the best, but mainly through Game Pass, because all of their first party titles come onto that service. But if you want the best graphics of all time, you get the Series X. Which, if they announce that for 350, we're about to go into another price war, because no one has revealed a price, and everyone, all the sources say they're waiting for each other to make a move.
Yep.
No one wants to be the company is like, well, we need to undercut it again because it looks weak. It looks weak. It shows that you could go lower and you didn't. Besides that, the next event for PlayStation now is in August, actually, where they said they'll show off more games. Basically, it's The Last of Us this month, Ghost of Tsushima next month. That'll finish off PS4, and in August, it's they're supposed to have another event. Is there any game that you're looking forward to, even if there's been no rumors about it? What's a game you're looking forward to now? You want to see
Well,
announced?
well, I think we're
Can
gonna
be
see it
anything.
announced. Coming very soon would be WB Montreal's next game.
Okay.
Are we gonna get a good Batman game or what?
Well, with
Like
that
what?
DC Fan Fest, you might be getting your wish in August. Very much so with that. But I mean, what I'm kind of worried about is if they've spent this many years working on it, is it going to be good?
Yeah, I hope so. They put the time and effort into it.
They've been teasing us all this time. I remember like early this year they were like teasing pictures on Twitter and they just stopped.
Yep.
It's like they know we want the game. And honestly, I think the worst part about this is just not knowing. Like if they announced right now, here's a trailer, here's what the game's about. Game's not out for another 6 months. I'd be completely fine with that
Oh yeah.
because at least I know it exists and it's coming.
Why do I feel like they're gonna pull the rug out from under us? WB Montreal is first. Lego Batman.
Another Batman VR game,
This time it's 20 minutes long.
20 minutes long, and if you pre-order, you can play as Robin as well.
Yeah. You can play as Jason Todd in the infamous he gets beaten by a crowbar. You can live out your wildest fantasies.
Jesus
You,
Christ.
you ever want to get hit with a crowbar before? Buy this game.
It's two-player. One is Joker, and the other's on the floor crying.
Yep. And don't worry, you get your own VR crowbar. Shh. It's a real crowbar.
That's why the box says rated M. It's the only way we could sell it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Batman game, it's a clear pick. I mean, if I had to go for one that I want to see is take away the big titles like GTA 6 or whatever, I would love to see a sequel to The Order 1886. I'd want to see a sequel to that one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a whole whopping 4 people that are with you on that one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, the first one was short and it kind of felt like a tech demo for the PS4, but I did like where the story was going. And, kind of just cuts off, and unless I heard that was about it, but if I can see a sequel to that with PS5 graphics, I'd be happy. But all right, so looks like based off all these games, we're both set for both buying PS5, both getting Resident Evil. I'll pick up Ratchet and Clank and Demon Souls, but it definitely seems like you need more games to look forward to. Hopefully, they announce more in August for you, because it seems like right now it seems like it's Resident Evil and a bunch of old PS4 games.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I'm okay with it just being Resident Evil. I mean, that's the game franchise that got me into video games as a whole. I remember watching my older brother play it when he got the first one on the PlayStation 1. So I'm I'm okay with it.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. I didn't know that that's the game that got you into gaming. So makes sense why starting off the generation with Resident Evil 8. That's not a bad way to start. But yeah, I mean, we'll probably do another gaming episode about this in I guess 2 months when there's stuff to happen, unless Xbox actually announced something good. But until then, if anyone has any thoughts about PS5 specifically, save any Xbox thoughts, where can they let us know?
Well, if you guys have any thoughts on the PlayStation 5, what it looks like, what you're stoked about, what you're disappointed about, what games you're looking forward to, what you hope to for them to reveal next, feel free to let us know at any of our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Shit, we're even on Spotify. But I mean, you can't really comment on that. But as always, you can find us under the name Entertainment Expansion, and we do read our comments. So feel free. We look forward to hearing from you.
Yep, do read all the comments, and that is right. You may not be able to comment on Spotify, but you can definitely listen to us on Spotify. But that'll be it for this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. Thank you for listening, and see you next week.